Alright guys, Chris here once again from christhefreelancer.com, and in today's video I'm helping you choose where to go as a digital nomad in 2018. So in yesterday's video I shared with you my personal 5 top digital nomad destinations, but I understand that this is not going to be the top 5 for everyone. And in fact, one of the things I've learned from the 2 years that I've been a digital nomad so far is that just because I love a place or that everyone loves a place doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to love a place as well. So for instance, everyone swears by Ho Chi Minh City, for example, and I went there and I absolutely, I don't want to say hated it, but I didn't like the lifestyle there at all, really. Nothing against Vietnam, that big city lifestyle, everything was just hectic. Anyway, I won't go into that, but that's just an example of how digital nomad destination can get a lot of attention in the digital nomad scene and it not be the perfect place for you. So today I want to kind of help you figure out like what sort of things are you interested in a digital nomad destination and kind of help you decide what would work for you and your personal preference, because at the end of the day I've covered 14 destinations in my book and I cover a range of different destinations on my blog, this YouTube channel. But theoretically, any place where you can get stable internet could be a digital nomad destination for you. There's probably people in Fiji working remotely, people in Costa Rica's not that talked about, but I know a few of my friends that are there, they love it. Just because it's not Chiang Mai, Bali, Bangkok, or whatever the other digital nomad hotspots are, doesn't mean that you're not going to find a great remote work environment for you and just the other things that you're really interested in. So the first step I would take to finding this out is choose your criteria. So for me, I'll just share a bit about myself. I really value co-working. So some of you guys watching can't understand co-working. You just want to work from home. It doesn't matter what co-working spaces there are. That's cool. Other thing I want is community there. So if it's not through the co-working space, it's through Facebook or some other way of connecting with other digital nomads there. I don't want to just arrive somewhere and be alone for the whole month or however long I'm there. Again, some people like to be secluded and that's why they are digital nomads, because they just want to get away from everyone. It's up to you. Number 3, I need it to be affordable, because yes, I'm on a budget, but also I get worried about paying the bills like everyone else, and just being in a low-cost destination just lower stress, right? Because you're not worried about, oh, I can't go out to this nice restaurant, I can't do this activity because it's too expensive. If you're in a cheap destination like Chiang Mai, for example, which I talked about in yesterday's video, you can pretty much do anything and it's not going to run up a huge bill. So what is your personal criteria? You might want to work from the beach and that's your dream. Like if you're going to work remotely and travel the world, why wouldn't you want to work from a beach? So I have a friend, for example, called Guido, and he only works from the beach basically, or from his home in Amsterdam. But he loves Koh Lanta, he loves Koh Phangan, and he is in Costa Rica now, I believe, or just left Costa Rica, and they love it, right? Maybe you're a city kind of person, and maybe you're like a single guy that wants to get out in the dating scene, meet women, party, that kind of thing. The big cities for you are going to be more exciting probably, like Ho Chi Minh City and Bangkok. I know a lot of single guys that love those cities for the nightlife. Actually, Medellin as well is another one. The nightlife in Medellin is crazy. A lot of people love Colombian women. Yes, they are beautiful. I'm in a relationship, so I can't comment. But yes, if you're a single guy and looking to date, there's a few places you'd probably want to go, like Medellin, like Bangkok, like Ho Chi Minh City. If you're a family, there's not many nomad families, but if you are a family, you might want to go to safer places. Like Thailand's always great for family because it's so safe. But I remember on the cruise, there is a blogger, I'll link her stuff below. She did a speech on the cruise about how she traveled with just her and her kid, and she went to these different islands in French Polynesia, and people welcomed her in with open arms, and it was just a really safe environment, really family orientated place. So if you're a family of nomads or you're traveling with a kid, maybe look at those destinations. Unfortunately, not a lot of information out there for those kinds of people because a lot of people aren't traveling as families. So what else? What else might be your criteria? So maybe business networking opportunities actually, like if you want to hire staff, have low taxes, stuff like that. I don't cover a lot of that on my channel, and I don't talk much about that in the book actually, but you know, you might want to go to a big city and hire in Vietnam, like Ho Chi Minh City, or maybe you want to go to Las Palmas, Gran Canaria, where they have the lowest tax in the EU, and that's how they're attracting people to come in and start businesses, because they have low taxes. They have these you know, environments that are great for remote work, and they want their locals to get hired by these companies. So if you can come in, hire people, places like that will really appreciate it. So those are a few like kind of personal preference things, but I think the one thing we can all agree on is that we need good internet when we're traveling to these places. So you won't see me talk about some of the places that I really want to go see, like maybe the Philippines and India, because the internet situation, I've heard, is a little bit tougher there. Because as a digital nomad, if you're working a lot, you want good internet, and maybe your job is mainly offline, so maybe you don't need great internet, but the one thing that unites us is the internet, right? So you'll notice that in the book, all the destinations I've covered have available fast speed internet. Another thing is geo arbitrage. So a lot of nomads want to get into traveling because they can take their money earned in euros, pounds, US dollars, Australian dollars, Canadian dollars, and then they can spend it in Thai baht, they can spend it in Mexican peso, they can spend it in all different kinds of currency that are valued less. So that's called geo arbitrage, and maybe you just want to lower your expenses. So that's another big criteria that's big in for digital nomads, is lower cost of living. Even if you're killing it online, you might have seen Johnny FD on this channel, and he earns more than 6 figures a year, but he consistently lives in low cost destinations, and that has been a great tool for him to make a bunch of savings and basically announce his retirement last year. But finally, I'd just like to finish up on, if you're trying to find a digital nomad destination that suits you, if you can't think of anything, definitely use the lists and people's other posts and gain inspiration from that. And I will go on Nomad List often just to get an idea. I will go on the blogs and see what people are saying as the top digital nomad destinations. But at the end of the day, you know, what's some places that you've always wanted to go to, and just start there and figure out like what places would I like to travel to. And then you can start to filter that through a lens of being a digital nomad and say, well, is there going to be digital nomads there if you want to network with other digital nomads? Is there a co-working space there if you want to do co-working or you're happy to work from home? Is there good internet there? As we said, the most important thing, is there internet for you to do your job? So you can just start with any location you can think of in the world and maybe filter through those like essentials that you need to perform your work. Also, visas and immigration and that kind of stuff is another thing. That's, you know, part of the benefit of being an Aussie or an American or whatever, is you have great visas, but you know, you might not have that. Or for me, for example, I can't spend a whole 6 months in Europe on a tourist visa because of the Schengen zone agreement and all the different kind of immigration policies. So that's a limitation as well. And just all of these things that you need to consider that kind of go together with your own personal preference of what places you want to travel to, and that together can help you decide where to go as a digital nomad in 2018 or 2019 or whenever you're watching this. All right, so that's all for today's video. I hope some of that information was valuable to you. I kind of just ran my mouth and tried to help you guys out, kind of think about it the way I would think about it when choosing a digital nomad destination. But if you want objective advice, I try to keep my personal preference out of it as much as possible in my Digital Nomad Guide to the World. So I talk about 14 destinations which have good conditions for digital nomads, objectively speaking. So if you want some ideas, check that out. And definitely, if you want some inspiration or just learn more about places you're already planning to travel to, that book can help you out as well. That's it in the series. I hope you enjoyed this advice on where to go as a digital nomad. Stay tuned to the channel, stay subscribed, stay motivated. Hopefully you'll check out the book on Amazon, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks so much. Peace.